What is going on YouTube and Spotify? This is the Just BSN podcast. And today we have a melancholy type episode because, well, the Browns, the title says it all. The Browns are trash, and yet the Cavs are doing what the Cavs are supposed to be doing. They're dominating, they're playing good ball, not playing perfect ball. They've lost some leads and held on, but Cavs are at least winning. The Browns can't even do that. Andrew, obviously, after the ugly game on Sunday night, which we both fully anticipated, but still sucked the way that it ended up panning out. How are we feeling about our Brownies?
I mean, I don't feel good. I don't feel confident. I feel like the season's already over, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know how much more I can take with what's been going on. Obviously, we're going to dive deep into it because I can't stand what I'm seeing. The only thing I can really say with positivity is that all rookies, aside from Dylan Gabriel, actually look good. And they're continuing to, I mean, Carson Schlesinger, like, what a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his first NFL interception, and that dude looks so good. But so do the other rookies. Mason Graham looks phenomenal. I can't speak enough about these young talents, but the one we're going to talk about today, I'm done. I'm done with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting to a point where us Browns fans, we're just kind of over it because, and I made a point in my notes here. It's not just that the Browns are like a bad team. It's that we are continuing to see and say the same things each week. We keep having to repeat ourselves with the same type of mistakes, the same errors, and with the same type of plays that happen every single weekend with this football team. It is just not getting better. And yet, I don't understand what Kevin Stefanski's philosophy here is. I don't know if he's getting push from the front office. I don't know if it's his ego at this point. Like, dude, I can't get a good read on Stefanski and why he feels the need to continue going with Dylan Gabriel. It's not working. I mean, dude, that that intentional grounding in the end zone that ended up being a safety was worse than Dan Orlovsky running out of the end zone. Truly, like that was more embarrassing because at least Dan was like, what else can I do there? Like, I'm screwed here anyway. I might as well just run out of the end zone and just take the safety. Dylan threw that, and he was trying to like plead his case as to like saying like, oh, there was a guy there. I was like, no, there was a coach there, or it was a ref that you threw to. You didn't throw anywhere near Fannin or anywhere near a running back even. It was the dumbest play he's ever done, and that's saying a lot because he's made quite a few dumb plays. It looks like he doesn't have a firm grasp of the playbook, unlike what Stefanski and Barry have said about him. He doesn't carry out routes or his progressions very well. He's very quick to get rid of the ball almost too fast to where his receivers can't get to it, or it's delayed because he physically cannot look over the line. When he missed Isaiah Bond on a deep shot because he read it way too late. I mean, dude, that was a walk-in touchdown had he actually hit him on the money and been able to see him. But he can't because he's 5'8" with spikes on. So, it's ridiculous that we as Browns fans continue to have to just go through this. And I also made this comment several weeks ago when we were going through our sort of like preseason episodes, is that my fear is that we were going to be forced to see Dylan Gabriel, and that they were going to just go through the motions with him and just really let him struggle instead of going to Shadur earlier just to see if you have something there, even if it's a spark, even if it's okay, like I can work with this. Because when you look at Gabriel, you look at it and you say, oh, like this is just who he is. Like, he spent 6 years in college for a reason. It wasn't like he was a super sought out NFL ready quarterback. You know, he was a guy that could play a college style offense that was in a shotgun the whole time, quick routes over the middle, check downs all of the time, and solid run games. Well, when your run game isn't working and you're down by 20 and you're forced to throw the ball with him again over 30 times, like it's just a recipe for a disaster. And I just think even if you make the move to go to Shadur, I think the team themselves, like the players themselves, will rally around that move more than they would have rallied around Gabriel getting the start over Flacco, and then obviously him getting traded. Um, but it definitely seems like there's a lot of dysfunction beginning. And I know Sean kind of uh, it was giving us some tea leaves about that as well. Just like something does feel off, and a lot of people have said something feels off with just how everything's going right now.
Mhm.
What is your take on that, especially with the news, obviously, of Andrew Berry not speaking to the media during the bye week, which is the first time he's done that since he's been here.
I think it speaks to how things are going this season. I think it speaks a lot of the characters that are in the front office. I think it speaks on why this team is really, really bad. It it's not taking accountability for your actions. And that's what this organization does very, very well. Better than other organizations. I will say the Browns are number one in the league at not taking accountability.
Right.
Uh,
If there's the
Like
one thing they're good at, it's lack of
the
accountability.
if there was a Super Bowl for not taking accountability, the Browns would be 6-time Super Bowl champs right now.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
um, no, it's an awful look. You're the GM. You're the guy who's making these signings. You're the one who is putting your head coach. Number one, like, yeah, Kevin Stefanski's play calling hasn't been the greatest, but you could also blame Andrew Berry for not giving him enough. And he didn't give you enough offensive tackles or O linemen.
Yep.
Now your O linemen are all old and deteriorating and trash, and they can't hold up a group of babies. You have essentially you don't even know what you have in a quarterback right now because Gabriel's dog water, and then you don't even have any. You don't even know what you got in Shador Sanders yet. Your receiving room is by far the worst in the league. I've seen kindergartners who can catch footballs better than these receivers can. Like it's unreal. Like me and you could go out there and play receiver and be a lot better right now. I was like, at least I could catch the football. So it's there's so much accountability that Andrew Berry has to take for the lack of, well, I could have gone out and gotten more receivers. I could have gotten more, O linemen to at least protect Gabriel or protect Shador whenever he starts. But we're gonna go down the Cincinnati Bengal route, and we're just gonna load up on absolutely nothing. Um, Defense wise, obviously, Barry's done very, very well defensive wise, but he's got to take accountability and to sit there and throw your head coach under the bus for your mistakes.
Yeah.
I think this is a fireable offense. Like, this is almost like committing treason. Like, ooh, this a lot of this was all on me, but you know what, Zach? This is all your fault.
Right.
Like, this is on you, man. Like, if you just coached better, dude, like we could have been such in a better position right now. And I'm just a GM who went to Harvard or whatever. I don't know much about.
Right.
I'm listening to a guy in San Diego who's playing on his laptop, who's playing Minecraft right now. That guy's telling me what to do, and he's telling me who to sign, and I'm an idiot listening to this guy.
Right.
And then I got another guy in my ear chirping it up like, dude, if you get Deshaun, dude, this is going to be the sickest time of our lives. And if you spend 250 guaranteed, oh man, this place is gonna be crazy. Like, it's so unbelievable that this organization can be so bad. And oh my god, dude, I just want to find Haslam in a public space and just chew his ass apart. And maybe especially for the Columbus Crew too, for the lack of
Yeah,
selling a couple of your best players so you could build a stadium. I got some choice words for you, my guy, because you destroyed the one team actually in this freaking state that can win a title.
exactly.
Besides obviously Cincinnati, and screw Cincinnati, we're not even going to talk about it. They're not even a part of this state. But back to the football, it's abysmal that your GM, your owner, other VPs in the front office can't sit there and take accountability for how bad they've been, and that just speaks to this organization. They're all making Kevin take the fall for their mistakes, and this is where I have a lot of sympathy for Kevin Stefanski, is the fact that he is taking every single blame from the media, from the NFL, other organizations, us as podcasters and media personalities. He's taking a lot of blame for stuff that's not his fault. And don't get me wrong, like what his coaching has been all season is fireable in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But this dude should not be blamed for what Andrew Berry's been doing, and Andrew Berry not taking accountability by speaking to the media. It just speaks a lot to what he thinks about us and to what he thinks of this team, and it tells me that he just truly doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's not a fun time, man. It really isn't. Like overall, like the feeling is not great. And by the way, like if there's anybody that does watch this that is not a Browns fan and they're like, they look from the outside in and they're like, well, you guys shouldn't have expected to do anything. It's like, no, like of course we thought that we were going to win anywhere from 3 to maybe 6 games maximum, this year. But we at least wanted it to look competitive. We wanted it to make it seem like these guys weren't just throwing in the towel,
Mm-hmm.
by the end of October. Like things are just not looking well, and especially after Myles Garrett, who although did sign up for this, had a career game last week.
Yep.
5 sacks against Drake
Mm-hmm.
May, made the rookie tackle look abysmal. I mean, he just completely dominated, and it made no difference. Like you're still 2-6, and you can pay him all that you want, but a defensive end isn't going to make enough of an impact for you to where you could win football games when your offense can't score more than 14 points in a game. In fact, you really can't score many touchdowns beyond your first drive, because after that, your head coach doesn't know how to call plays throughout the game. Like, and that's another reason why I want Stefanski to stop calling plays. Like, if you're going to keep him as a head coach, I mean, I guess fine. I don't really want that, but at least make the play calling more open and more different than what we've seen, because it's just not working. If you're gonna have the personnel you're gonna have, then okay, make it work with them, but you're not. And there's blame to go around everywhere. There really is, between players and front office and coaches alike. Like it doesn't matter. Everybody's kind of getting smoke right now. And all I'm saying is thank the good Lord that we are on a bye week, because uh, I think as Browns fans, we need it. Like we need to kind of decompress, because this week alone in media has already just been terrible. I mean, if you've listened to, the Fan, you've heard Daryl Ryder absolutely have some meltdowns on the Fan um, over his take with Gabriel, because he has not been a fan of Gabriel since the start. Um, and we're just literally going through it. Like we are just seeing this team fall apart each week, and you're like, man, is this actually ever going to get better, or is this just how things are going to be with this team? For at least this year. And what doesn't help is guys are getting hurt. Schlesinger got hurt. Judkins is hurt. Um, you know, just more and more guys keep turning out and not being able to play. Conklin can't stay on the freaking field. Dwan Jones went out after 2 weeks of starting. Like it's just, man, I'm physically and emotionally, mentally tired of this team.
Dude, I feel sick just even talking about this team. Like, I feel like I should go to the bathroom and throw up every time I talk about this franchise. Like I can't do it anymore, dude. The lack of accountability is just killing me. Like,
Yep.
it's oh my god, dude. It's so frustrating. And all I ask of the Cleveland Browns is just to be at least a competent organization where you can take accountability and you can step up and have trust from the fans and be like, listen, Andrew Berry comes out and says, listen, my bad. I'll try and right the ship. I'll try and fix things. I'll try and sign some offensive linemen. I'll try and get some help, whatever. Like, if you came out and said that, I'd be like, you know what? I like that
It's a
because
start. Yeah, it's a start.
yeah, it's like, okay, he's taking accountability. It's a start. It's something. It's something that we could build on. But instead of doing that, you throw it to the head coach and be like, I'm not going to answer questions. Ask him why we suck. Dude, you're the one who signs the players. You tell me why we suck. You guys thought signing these certain people are going to make the team better, and it made the team worse.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible how some of these owners and GMs think, and it's very sickening. Like, can we just fire Andrew Berry and just get John Dorsey back?
Yeah.
I love what I think it was Nick from 92.3 The Fan who said he'll get naked if we resign John Dorsey as a GM. I was like, hell yeah, bro.
That would be hilarious.
It's like I think it was like if you sign John Dorsey back and then you get like Mike McDaniels as OC, keep Jim Schwartz as DC, and the head coach would be, I think it was like John Gruden or something. And he goes, I'll take off my shirt and get naked or something. I'm like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be better than anything else we have at this point because it's just so brutal. It is so brutal.
I can't deal with it anymore.
I mean, if it's just going to continue getting worse, then we'll probably get to a point where we just talk less and less about them and just kind of do NFL predicts and just kind of do it, and then just we'll worry about the Cavs and the Buckeyes because. I mean, seriously, like if there's just not going to be anything, good to talk about, there's really no reason for us to even discuss them anymore.
I found what it was. It was fire Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, hired John Dorsey, the GM, Robert Saleh, head coach, Mike McDaniel, OC, and Jim Schwartz. And then Nick Wilson played, if you bring back John Dorsey, I will get naked. I was like, I love it. Like, I tell you what, I know a lot of people have a lot of crap to talk about Mike McDaniels, but at least he could run plays that even with an incompetent offense still scores 20 points a game.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd rather have that as my offensive coordinator.
Yeah. I mean, I would at least rather have somebody that can at least.
He takes a lot of risks. That's what he does. He takes a lot of gambles and a lot of risks.
And he understands that when he has certain players, he needs to play them. When he has a competent quarterback to use, he can actually run a pretty good offense that at least moves the field.
And he immediately he saw that what's his name was playing bad. Tua was playing bad, and he made the move to Quinn Ewers.
Yeah,
and that was during the Browns game.
Yeah.
So
and then Tua play it again and play better, but like. It's just like it's one of those things where it's like sometimes you just have to be the coach and like understand, like put your ego aside and make a decision that is going to help your football team because the help is just not there. It's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to get better with Gabriel. Stop trying to force it and let him continue to learn and see what Shedeur can do. Because even if he might not have a full grasp on the offense itself, if you give him plays that he can work with, he could probably work around them and still make plays with his arm because he's got a much better arm than Gabriel ever could. And at least he has the ability to scramble as well. Gabriel barely scrambles. He doesn't try to. The only time he did was in Miami, and I was like, okay, it works. Great.
He had one scramble this past game on Sunday, and it was for like a 14-yard first down.
Yeah.
And then he didn't scramble ever again.
Yeah. It's getting ridiculous. So
yeah, I can't.
with that, I think we can move to some Cavs talk before we get into our NFL predicts. I think that was the shortest time that we have spent on ranting about the Browns and or just any team at all at this point. Like
It's the same thing
we've
every week.
because we've just not hit it, hit the 20 mark, and I feel like we've talked for like an hour because it's just been so frustrating to deal with. So yeah, I don't really want to spend too much time because there's not a whole lot because it's still early, but the Cavs are winning. They're playing good. Guys are starting to find their groove, their groove a little bit, and I think it really starts with Donovan. I mean, Donovan has really sort of set the table and really set the pace for the team. And I'm just curious how when they'll get to a point where they're ready to finally move more towards getting Mobley way more involved because the last few games he hasn't really played amazing, especially after the first game. The first game he played really good, but the Cavs just screwed around a little bit. But overall, the Cavs are as advertised, and although he just got hurt, last night, so we'll see uh how long he's going to be out for. But Sam Merrill has been on a massive heater the last few games. Like he is just chucking up threes and just making at least 50% of them. It's unreal what he's been doing for them so far.
Yeah, and I think for the whole Mobley situation too, I think what the Cavs are doing great, like insanely good on, is when what's his name came back, DeAndre Hunter came back.
Right.
If you look at the box score from the game against the Pistons and the home opener against the Bucks, the scoring, like if you look at all the points from all the players, I mean, this is just from last night against Detroit. Hunter 13 points, Allen 20, Mobley 15, Mitchell 35, and then in the 17 minutes Merrill played before he got injured, he had 11. It was on pace for 20.
Yeah.
And so these guys are all averaging 10 plus points per game at least, almost averaging 15 plus points per game. The starting five. And let me go back to the Bucks game because I think it was the exact same where everyone was above like 15 points, and I think it's a testament to what the coaching staff has going on.
All right.
Hunter had 16. Okay, Jarrett Allen didn't have double-digit points, but he had like 12 rebounds as well. So that makes up for the points. Mobley had 23, Donovan had 24, and Sam Merrill had 17. And it's a testament to Kenny Atkinson and him being able to get everybody involved and everybody scoring. And I think that's what the focus on this offense is everybody eats.
Yeah.
If you're open, take the shot. It don't matter if you miss it, whatever. If you're open, take it. Don't try and force threes. Don't try and force the paint if it's not there. Just get your shot off and hit your shot. And that's what the Cavs are doing very, very well. Is they're getting their shots up. They're making everything. They're not missing much. And they're getting the shots that they need to get. If the paint is open, go to Mobley and Allen in the paint. If it's not, hit that step back three, hit that, mid range, hit your shots. And that's exactly what the Cavs are doing. Sam Merrill has been electric to start the year. This kid's averaging 20 points per game. One of the highest average points on the team behind Donovan Mitchell. Mobley's been averaging about 16, 17. I mean, Jarrett Allen's been averaging almost 14. Hunter, ever since he's been back, has been averaging about 15 plus. Like your entire starting five is averaging about 15 plus points per game.
Right.
Which is, I think, one of the top in the league. And I think this is what they were missing last year, was that it's not Donovan Mitchell scoring 35, and then maybe Garland has 20, then Allen and Mobley have like 12, but they have like 12 rebounds or something. And DeAndre Hunter has like 12 points or whatever. Like everyone's got close to 20 points per game. Everyone is taking the easy shots. And there's just a lot better because I bought my t-shirt. I was at the home opener against the Bucks. And I think what I saw the best of was everyone was moving the ball very, very well.
Yeah.
And again, I think a lot of that too starts with guys like Donovan Mitchell. And then off the bench, Lonzo Ball, who has been playing so well defensively and offensively because again, if he's not making shots, he's moving the ball around
Right.
and he's finding guys open. And when I saw Lonzo play in person, I was like, this kid is gonna be something for us. Like he was knocking down shots. He was very aggressive on defense, very aggressive on the offense. And I think Kenny Atkinson has something in the works that can get this team to the top this year because by God, the Cavs look really good right now.
Right. Yeah. They've definitely been. I mean, as advertised. I mean, dude, this is
Mm-hmm.
what you expect. And you're seeing guys like the Celtics. Dude, they have been bad. They have a
So,
losing, record right now.
so we play tomorrow.
Celtics.
We play Boston.
Yep.
Tomorrow night.
So I mean, the East is really sort of shaping up to be what it was. New York is going to be good. The Magic are going to be good. We are going to be good. And then the other four are going to be probably random. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can see, I obviously Detroit is going to be a playoff team. I think. I can see Toronto if they stay healthy. I bet they squeeze in. And then it really comes down to teams like Atlanta and then like Miami. Those ones are always going to be at the bottom of like the playoff list in the East.
Yeah. I think the biggest surprise to start the year is that Orlando and Boston are both 1-3, and Indiana's 0-3. So teams that have made deep playoff runs are the worst teams in the league right now,
Oh,
or in the worst in the East. Um, and then Milwaukee, Detroit, like you said, the usual suspects are in the play. Charlotte's actually in the playoff hunt right now too. They're 2-1 right now.
right.
Um, but right now the Cavs sitting at 3-1, Philly at 3-0, Chicago at 3-0. A lot of that is going to change once we get into the heart of the season. But like you said, as of right now, it's looking like the East is going to run through either the Cavs or the Knicks.
Yeah,
That's
I
if the
mean
Knicks stay healthy.
that's what I think too. So, I mean, we'll obviously see how the rest of the season sort of unfolds, but generally speaking, like that's just how this is going to go down. But yeah, I mean, I've been happy with how motivated Donovan has been throughout this entire stretch so far.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's early, and the Cavs are going to have some bumps and bruises, especially still waiting on DG. And Max, and then now Sam has a hip contusion, so he'll be at least out tomorrow, and then we'll see sort of how that outlooks. But this is also another chance for guys like Hunter and Mobley to really show up and really play better, and then you get more minutes from guys like Lonzo and Proctor and Porter Jr. So you want these guys to play. You want these guys to contribute
Mm-hmm.
early, see what they can provide for you, and then it sort of gives you a better indication of what the whole season itself is going to look like as you continue to manage games, and sit certain guys, and just be smart throughout the season. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. It's just being smart and understanding that you got to stay healthy throughout the season to get into the playoffs, but still have the ability to also have the conditioning to get through the playoffs, which I think we sort of lacked last season. So we'll see how Kenny tries to adjust to that as the season progresses. But early on, dude, game manage all you want. Keep our guys healthy. That's all that freaking matters, man. It's just keeping these guys healthy.
Yeah, for sure. And that's going to be the biggest key all season, is just making sure your big stars stay healthy, especially once DG gets back. And that's going to be the guy that's going to have to be forced to stay healthy is Darius Garland, because he's going to be a game changer this year.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily have too much more that I want to talk about with the Cavs, just because there's not really
Much to talk
there's
about.
it's still early, so I think we can go ahead and just get through our predicts and have a decently short episode for us.
All right. Well, it's time for NFL Week 9 predicts. Finally, the Browns are on the bye week, so we don't have to watch them this week. So that's a sigh of relief for mine and Zach's mental health. We can at least watch an Ohio State domination W and breathe easy on Sunday. But for the rest of everyone on Sunday, we start with Thursday night football with Baltimore at Miami.
I think Baltimore does it. It sounds like Lamar is going to play. I know he didn't play last week, but they played much better. Um, Miami had a good game finally, but even in Miami, I can see Lamar coming out and sort of having himself a pretty good game and being like, yeah, I haven't left. I just was just hurt. In him and Derrick Henry, King Henry, will probably carry them to a victory.
Yeah, I picked Baltimore as well, just for the fact that Lamar's coming back, and that's going to just be a huge boost for the Ravens. Tyler Huntley came back to Baltimore, of course, for about the 15th time in his career.
Right?
It seems like he's bouncing back and forth from the Browns to the Ravens at this point.
It does. It's kind of funny.
and
Staying in
and
family.
yeah, and he did win last week against Chicago. So if not, if Lamar doesn't go, Huntley did play well against Chicago. Was it Chicago they played? I think it was Chicago.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm dumb. I could just look at it was Chicago. But yeah, if Lamar stays out, then Huntley could play well. But other than that, I think Lamar plays. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, so Miami's cooked.
Yeah.
All right, going to the start of the 1 o'clock games, it'll be Minnesota at Detroit, NFC North matchup.
Detroit should win by double digits, especially being at home. I don't know if the Vikings are going to have McCarthy back, or if they got to go to the other rookie. I don't know what's going on because I know Wentz is out now. But I don't think it matters who plays for Minnesota. They just don't seem like a very competent team. Their offensive line is probably worse than ours, actually, which is saying something. But Detroit should run away with this one pretty easily.
Yeah, I have Detroit too. I think JJ McCarthy is going to be back this week, from what it looks like, and it's going to be a slow game for him, especially against the Detroit defense. I like you said, I got Detroit by double digits. Up next, Carolina at the Packers.
Packers should win this game. Maybe also by double digits. Carolina's just, they're just kind of still Carolina. Like they still have some things to work out. I don't know why they went away from freaking Dowdle because he was on a tear there when Chuba Hubbard was out. I think you got to try to increase his carries if you want to have chances in these games because Bryce Young just isn't it, man.
Yeah, I went with Green Bay again, like you said, just like the Detroit game. It should be by double digits. You're in Lambeau. It's starting to get colder outside, especially in Wisconsin. It's Bryce Young is just not it. They have Ted McMillan, who they should be building around, and Chuba Hubbard, who they should be building around. And this should just be an easy double-digit win for Green Bay. Up next, we got Denver at Houston.
Denver should get their payback from losing last week. Or I think they lost last week. I can't fucking remember, honestly. I'm so tired. I've been up since 5 o'clock. But Denver should win this game. Houston's been struggling. Stroud has been struggling. And overall, I don't know. They're in such a weird spot. So Denver has to win this game for me.
Yeah, I got Denver, and I think you're correct. I think it was a comeback from behind win that Denver had against, or no, they hammered Dallas. That's what it was. They went to Dallas and beat them. It was like 35 to 20 or something. It was like
Right.
it was a beating. But yeah, I think it's going to be the same here. Like you said, Texans are struggling hard on both sides of the ball, and it's not good for D'Amico Ryans.
No.
To the other 1 o'clock games, we have Chicago at Cincinnati.
I'm gonna go Chicago here. I don't know if the Bengals. I don't know if Flacco's healthy. I think he got banged up, so I don't know what his status is. Haven't really cared to look, but Chicago has looked pretty solid. Like they obviously lost last week, I think, but um, overall they've been playing better. I can see them winning this game against the Bengals.
Yeah, I decided to go with Chicago too because, again, the uncertainty of Joe Flacco in this game, if he's playing or not. If he is, I think that could sway things a little bit. But they did just blow a game against the Jets the other day, so you can't sit there and blow that game. That's just an awful loss for the Bengals. I mean, once again, they do have the worst defense in the NFL, and guys like Trey Hendrickson are probably going to be looked to being moved at the deadline, and that
Right.
defense is going to get 10 times worse
Right.
after that. So it's not, no matter how much Joe Burrow does, and no matter how much Joe Flacco does, it's just never going to be enough because that defense can't keep a lead to save their lives. So give me Chicago Bears. All right, Falcons at New England.
I'm on the Pats train, man. They looked great against us, but they've been playing really good ball. Vrabel just has them locked in. I really don't see that changing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Atlanta will obviously be a better matchup, but they also just lost to Miami pretty badly, and I don't know if they're going to have Penix. They didn't have London either last week, so they were down a few guys. We'll see who plays, but still don't think it's really going to matter too much because New England's just been they've been solid, man. I can't recognize real on that one.
Yeah, I went with the same thing. I went with New England as well because they're starting to beat everybody now, and I just I have full faith in Drake May. I have full faith in Mike Vrabel. That team looks really, really good, and I think the Browns really missed out on making Vrabel the head coach because this could have been the Cleveland Browns. But instead, we decided to stick with what we had, and you see where we are right now. But yeah, I have the full faith in Vrabel and Drake May to continue dominating. So give me the Pats. San Francisco at the Giants.
I'm gonna go San Fran because New York just lost Cam and losing Scabado is a big loss for them. They obviously don't have neighbors. They'll probably play a little better against San Fran, but I expect San Fran to win this game regardless.
I got San Fran to win this game. I think this is the game where Brock Purdy comes back. Um, he's been trending upwards in practices and stuff like that. So if this is a game where Brock Purdy does come back, that spells great things for guys like George Kittle and some of the other offensive guys, and that's going to help tremendously. So if that's the case, give me San Francisco because, again, like you said, the loss of Cam Scatterbo really hurts, and it really affected Jackson Dart because he was very, very frustrated when that happened. So give me San Francisco, and I just think San Francisco is overall better. Um, Another game that should be a little lopsided: Indianapolis Colts at Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Colts should win this game by potentially double digits, but they should at least win this game regardless of
Mm-hmm.
what the score is. The Steelers are fine, but they're as advertised. They're what I thought they were, and they just made a trade for Kyle Duggar. I still don't think that's really going to help them because again, they need offense. They don't really need defense.
Yeah, I went with Indianapolis too. I think they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. And again, like I talked about before we started, Daniel Jones is playing like an MVP level quarterback. He's playing like one of the best. And then no one's been speaking about Jonathan Taylor and how dominant he's been the last couple weeks and how he's been dominant all season.
Right.
I don't think that Steelers defense is going to handle Jonathan Taylor, let alone Daniel Jones slinging the rock all over the place. So give me Indianapolis over a very, very aging Steelers team. And then the last 1 o'clock game, we have the Chargers at Tennessee.
I'm gonna go Chargers. Tennessee has still been struggling. They're at home, so that might help them. And the Chargers have been playing some weird ball, but Herbert has been playing really, really solid ball. I'm gonna start him in my fantasy league this week. He's been dialed in. So yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers because literally of Herbert.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. Like you said, Herbert, Ladd McConkey, they've been a good combo. They've been a good combo last season, all this season. And again, the Titans probably one of the worst, if not the worst team in the NFL right now. Their defense is awful. Offense can't really get going. So give me a double-digit Chargers win. All right, to start the 4 o'clock slate, we have New Orleans versus the Rams.
Rams. That's all I need to say. Rams.
Yeah. Yep. That's all I'm going to say, too, is just Rams. By a million. Tyler Shuck is going to be the starter, too, by the way.
I saw that.
So that'll be interesting. Jacksonville at the Raiders.
I'm gonna go Raiders because they're at home. I know they haven't been really playing impressive ball, but Jacksonville is starting to look human again, and I think this is a game where after a bye week, the Raiders should really commit to giving Genty a million carries and just really starting to give him the ball. So it's what I'm rooting for. I wouldn't be surprised if this game flip flops and it's the Jags that win it, but I'm just gonna go with the home team. Why not?
I went with Jacksonville, just for the fact that I just think they're the better team. I think the Raiders will play Raider football, which is the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do, which is give Genty the ball. And I think it's just going to blow up in their face. And I just see Jacksonville having a better game overall.
Right.
All right. The last 4 o'clock game, and this is a rematch of the AFC Championship. Kansas City at Buffalo.
Buffalo is at home, therefore that is, I think, the biggest. Really the only way that they can win this game. The Chiefs have been playing some really good ball, especially since they got Rashee Rice back. I think he has done a phenomenal job. The Bills, I think they're going to come out a little pissed off after losing to Atlanta the way that they did. I'm pretty sure they came off a bye, or no, they didn't come off a bye week. They did beat the crap out of whoever the hell they faced. I think they played like Carolina or something.
Yeah, Buffalo beat the Panthers like 40-7 or 40-6 or something.
I'm rooting for the Bills, and I'm gonna take the Bills, but it's always the Chiefs, and that's the thing that sucks. But I am a fan of Josh Allen, so therefore, in my heart, I am going to go ahead and pick the Bills.
I went with the Bills for the fact that they're at home, and to be honest, I think this year they are actually better than the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is the year that the Bills finally overtake the Chiefs and go all the way.
God, I hope so.
I think the world hopes so because I think the world's tired of Kansas City. It's like the Dodgers in the World Series every year. Everyone's kind of sick of it at this point.
Right.
But I think Buffalo reinforced that defense. I think they got a really good defense now. They definitely. Josh Allen's just Josh Allen. There's not much more to say. This is going to be fireworks for sure. Like, this is going to be a game where everyone's going to be betting. It's going to be, the biggest shootout of the season. But I like Josh Allen in this one. All right. The Sunday night game, we have Seattle at Washington.
Seattle. Even if Jane Daniels comes back, I still see them struggling a little bit. Seattle has been playing some outstanding ball. So just for that reason, I got to go Seattle.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I went with Seattle too because Sam Darnold and Seattle have just been playing excellent football. Again, Seattle is just one of those underrated teams that don't get talked about much, but they're very equally spread out. Their offense is really good. Their defense is really good. And they should get a lot more. They should be talked about a lot more than they are because this could be a sneaky good football team in the NFC that can make it if nobody's careful because of how underrated they really are. And like you said, Jane Daniels, if he's playing or not, I don't think it really matters. I will say though, having Terry McLaurin back is a big boost for Washington because they really needed a guy who could catch the football back besides just Zach Ertz.
Right.
And Zach Ertz has been, and Zach Ertz is old, man. You can't just be force feeding the ball every time. That man's like, dude, as much as he loves it, as a fantasy owner who has him, I love it too because it's a lot of points for me, but you're going to end up killing that guy. So give me Seattle. Arizona at Dallas for the Monday night game.
I mean, this should be a pretty easy take. Dallas. Dallas's offense has been dynamite. Their run game's been a lot better than I thought it would be. Really hard to not pick Dallas here. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you. It shouldn't be that hard of a game. I don't know if Kyler Murray is coming back. I don't think he is. I think it's still Jacoby Brissett, and
Yeah,
I think Brissett's obviously a 10 times better quarterback than Kyler Murray at this point because he's actually keeping games close for Arizona. And I wish he was still on the Browns, kind of.
Right.
But you know what? It is what it is. Give me Dallas. This should be kind of a blowaway game for Dallas. And with that, those are the week 9 picks. I should go over week 8 real quick before we close out.
Yeah.
Week 4, I went 9-4. Zach, you went 8-5. The difference makers being that I had the Chargers game over Minnesota. You had Minnesota. I had the Chargers, so that I took that there. And then I had the Giants beating Philly again. You had Philly winning. Obviously, Philly won that game. And then the decider was the Denver-Dallas game. I had Denver. You had Dallas. And I had Denver taking that. So we stand at 9-4. I stand at 9-4. You stood at 8-5. And for the all-time record, I am 82-38-1. Zach, you are 76-46-1.
Yeah, so you got a pretty comfortable lead on me right now. I can't lie.
I mean, this is where you were last year, and I was trying to keep up with you. So I think we definitely flip flop this year.
Absolutely. Alrighty, guys. Well, considering we have a bye week with with the Browns this week, we don't have to worrying about them. So, fortunately for the next episode, we won't have to talk about them at all. But Andrew, go ahead and give us the good old shout out for the boys, and then we'll head on out.
Yeah, so guys, once again, be sure to check out our sponsor, Effortless Wins, for sports betting advice and plays to boost your wins. Talk to Tony and Greg. The links will be in the description of Spotify or in the comment section on the YouTube channel or the YouTube video when it comes out. Guys, NFL season, right in the heart of it, right in the middle. We're almost halfway through the season. After this week, we'll be halfway through the NFL season already. I can't even believe it. But NBA has started. So we're only 4 games into the NBA season. So now's your chance. And the NHL season has begun as well. They're only, I think, 9 games into the NHL season as well. So, guys, it's still peak sports season, man. What are we doing? And you still got the World Series, too. Like, this is the sports equinox, man. We got the World Series. We got baseball, football, basketball, hockey. You got the MLS Cup playoffs if anyone cares. But now's the time to get those bets in. Now's the time to start winning some money. And hey, it's time to get your kids some Christmas money too.
That's facts.
You can make your kids the happiest of all time, or you can lose the house. Either or.
Yeah, take a gamble. That's what life's all about.
It's either a happy or Merry Christmas, or we have nowhere to live,
or you have nowhere to live and you're getting divorced. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
So always remember, gamble responsibly, everybody.
Yes, please.
Let's not be idiots. But
if you get addicted, please call the number. If you get addicted, please.
Yeah, please, for the love of God. But dude, especially with basketball now, like I feel like that. I always said that football was one of the more fun ones to to gamble on, but I think one of the more profitable ones to gamble on surely is basketball. I've always done pretty much a lot better on basketball than I have in football.
I'm 7-1 on my basketball picks this year.
Yeah.
7-1. So I'm killing it in the NBA for sports betting. If you guys want bets, talk to me about the NBA. I'm just kidding. But yeah, go talk to Tony and Greg. It's time to get that Christmas money now that Christmas is coming up. Black Friday is in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
it's time to get that Christmas money up. But yeah, that's
So,
all I got.
all right, guys. Well, we will see y'all next week, hopefully with a little bit better of an attitude. And yeah, we will see what happens in the world of sports within the next week. We'll see you guys later.